Hello, my name is Dark Mandel, and today I'm going to do a show called Upcycled, Recycled Fashion. And I'm also going to show you something that I recently did a tutorial on that's on my Patreon. If you want to check out my Patreon, you can do that. This is the one thing that I have on my Patreon, and it's a fabric tribal doll head with a snake embroidered snake underneath it. I show you how to make the tribal doll head, the bantu knots, and everything like that, but I don't show you how to make the snake that I attached underneath, and that was just an afterthought for it. So yeah, that's what I have a tutorial on my Patreon. So you can check out my Patreon. I'll leave the links in the description below. And if you would like to have a tutorial done of how to make one of these hand embroidered snakes, you can request it. You can even request it on my Patreon, and then I could do that for you. Or you can request it here. So either way, everybody gets to learn something new and something creative, and this is all recycled fabric. So I just wanted to show that, show that off to you, because I'm going to put it on my Etsy shop today for sale. So yeah, definitely check out my Etsy shop. Check out my Etsy shop, because they're not only where you buy one of a kind, hand sewn, hand embroidered, something done with someone's actual hands instead of a machine. It's not mass produced, but also you get a free handmade gift to go with with their purchase. If you buy something, you get a free handmade gift. I've got a lot of art to give, and that's my way of saying thank you for buying something from my Etsy shop. So I'm going to bring out the project I'm going to work on today. And it's going to be that one dress that I've been working on for quite a while, that you guys have been seeing me bring forth for this show. Over a year, maybe over 2 years at this point. So let me get all set up to bring you over here. I'm pretty much set up. I just have like fabrics everywhere because I've been sewing all day. Just finishing up that doll head. So let's grab it out here. It's alright, Bart. My cat's in here sleeping, so he'll be in here hanging out with us for today's sewing session. Let me put this down here, maybe that'll work. There we go. Yeah, I've got sewing stuff all over the place. I was watching a marathon of Knight Rider, the old 1980s Knight Rider. It was streaming on Twitch. So anyway, to give you an update, an update on this. This is what I added recently. It's alright, Bart. I added a pentagram on each side of the sleeve on the back. Now, like I've explained before, the pentagram isn't anything evil. It's an ancient symbol that's been used even before the pagans, the druids. If you do some research, you'll find out that, yeah, indeed, that is true. It's just been made into being an evil symbol, and it really isn't. So I put one on each side. Here's the other one on this side. And to tell you the truth, I haven't worked on it at all this week, but this is how far I've come with it. So I figured I'd work on it today. Hi. You see my cat over here? Let me show you this guy. Here he is. He doesn't want to be seen. We'll get him out of there. Get him out of the picture there. He's just trying to rest. So what I wanted to do was to do more with the back. I wanted to try to finish the back. And this part right here is kind of rough. So what I figured I'll do is I'm kind of at a crossroads with it. I was thinking of maybe adding beads on the bottom of this area, because it's kind of shabby looking, so I figured you'd add some beads to it. I have some fabric beads, but not a lot. So what I might do for this show is just make beads today instead of embroider. And I wanted to make some beads that are similar to these on this side, like the tribal faces on here. See those? These here on the side, and then there's some on the other side too. So I figured I could carry off that same look, but on the back towards this area down in here where it's kind of like scrunching up a bit in the back. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some of those beads, and I'll show you how I make them. They're fairly simple, and I believe I showed you this before, these specific beads, but it may not have. So I'm going to put this dress over here and make some beads. So it's pretty easy to do. All you need is recycled fabrics, scissors, a needle, and thread. That's it. And patience. So I'm going to try to make it look similar to the ones that I have on the front, but they won't be exactly the same because the fabric's going to be a bit different. So let me grab, let's see, because I have some of the fabric is like this worn jean fabric, and some of it's like a khaki fabric, which I don't think I have a lot of khaki fabric. So I might just use all this jean fabric. Now this is a pocket. This pocket could be turned into a little handbag, like what I did with this pocket right here, which will be going on my shop as well. This is considered upcycled, recycled art, upcycled, recycled fashion, definitely. So I'm not going to use that. So let's see what other fabric we have. I've got this fabric, like the khaki fabric that I was talking about. Let's see what other fabric. I'm just looking through a big bag full of scraps is what I'm doing right now. And I've got some of this, some of this. So I'm just going to work with those. And I'm going to use some neutral tones and maybe some poppy tones, like some gold. I'm going to use this color. It's like kind of like a goldish color. Some of the threads I'm using are embroidery threads, some are not. So it depends on what you want to do. You can use embroidery threads or not use embroidery threads. It's up to you. So let's see, what other colors should I use? I'm going to bring out some pink. Pink for love. And bring out some, what else we got in here? We got some purple, or you can say lavender. Purple is, what I've learned about purple recently, that it's also, not only is it connected to the crown chakra, but it's also supposed to be good for protection. So if you wear purple, then it can help to protect you from whatever negative energies that are around you. I've got purple lipstick on. So it's kind of dark in here, I would say, huh? Wouldn't you say? So it's all right. Hanging out in the dark, making beads. What else would you want to do with your time? So yeah, I'm having a really productive Saturday. It's Saturday for me, and it's really hot. I recently did a video. Hi, there's my cat over here by my foot. I recently did a video talking about this fire that happened recently in California that totally destroyed this one business that was about doing really well. So you can check out my other channel called The Productive Cannabis Connoisseur, where I talk about that. It's pretty devastating. And these people, they put together a GoFundMe because a lot of homes were damaged. Yeah, it was pretty seriously intense. I'm not sure if it, to some degree, it seems like it was planned. I don't know. I can't say for sure because I don't have any proof. That's just my initial feeling that I got when I was reading the story this morning, when I found that. It's pretty sad. But anyway, so you can check it out on that channel if you'd like. So here we go. So I'm just threading the needle, and it looks like I chose the pink first. So you can use any colors you want. When you make your own recycled fabric garments, you can use whatever color threads you want, whatever works for you. So I'm going to take this fabric and I'm going to cut it in half, and then it'll be not as big of a bead as I want it to be. So I'm just going to do this kind of technique, fold it over like that, like so, and then I'm just going to sew it on the other side to sew it into a shape, like kind of a head shape. So I believe I did demonstrate how to make these on another video. So if this isn't making sense to you, I apologize, but it's fairly simple. You just have to hold on to it so that it keeps its shape while you're sewing this part on there. So sewing, not this part on there, sewing it into a shape of a head, somewhat of a head. So I learned how to do a lot of these things that I make just by experimenting. like the fabric, the whole fabric bead thing. I was fascinated by the idea of making beads out of fabric because I saw that I can make beads from paper. So I was like, why not fabric? And the fabric beads definitely take longer to make, but they're just as fun to make as the paper beads are. So let's get this going on. Yeah, it's going to be a lot smaller than the head shapes on the front of the dress. So I figured it'd be cool to line the bottom of the back of the dress with these beads. So I'm winging it. I'm not a seamstress. I'm not a clothing designer or anything like that. I'm just having fun with these fabrics, and I'm a very tactile person. Like, I like feeling different types of fabrics, you know. So it's already at 10 minutes. It takes a long time to sew these beads. And if I were going to do a lot of detail on it, it could take, for a really small bead like this, it could take like an hour just to do one that's fully embroidered with the design on it. So these kind of things definitely do take time. That's why some people won't bother with this type of this form of art, because it's something that takes patience and not something that happens immediately. But it's good for people who want to gain patience. It's like a meditation. For me it is, and because when I'm doing this type of detailed work, not only am I fascinated by what's in my hand, but I'm also thinking about things within life, you know. So working through problems, solving them through working on art. So it's kind of like a head, but not. It's kind of a lumpy head, but you get the point. You can refine it if you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can find a Sharpie maybe. If I can't find a Sharpie, I'll wing it. I'll wing it. So basically what I'm going to do is going to put two eyes, like 2 lines for eyes, and then a line for nose, and then a line for mouth. So it's going to be so simple. Very simplistic design. So I'm going to use pink again. So, and yeah, I encourage you to use different colors when you create whatever work of art you're creating, whether it's wearable art, a painting, a doll, a handbag, whatever. Using colors can be very therapeutic, and I very much encourage people to create art in order to help to heal themselves. Let's see, now I'm going to try to thread this needle. This pink is so like light in color, so I can see it, but it's like hard to thread. It's probably because I'm pointing towards the fan. Let's just do this. I'll turn away from the fan here. Is it in there? Oh shoot. Come on, you can do it. Maybe you can't. There was one time that I got a hold of a needle and it didn't even have an eye in it. Or there's an eye, but it was closed up. It was a reject needle. So let's see. Let's try this again, shall we? It almost seems like it is because the fan is on, probably. I got it threaded. Congratulations, I did it. And if you were struggling too and you're sewing along, congratulations to you if you got it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to figure out which side I want the... Okay, I'll just have the face through. So I'm just going to take my thread and make some eyes, nose, and mouth on it, but a simple design. Sometimes what will happen with certain types of thread, like this silky embroidery thread I have, it'll want to knot up easily, so just got to be careful with that. It can be a pain in the butt. Sometimes that's why sometimes I prefer to use cotton thread, or even sometimes polyester cotton blend thread, because the silk threads, they're very tricky to use when you're trying to do like minute details like this. So yeah, okay, I feel like taking my hair down. My hair's been up for a little bit, so get to see the antennae. So yeah, so it's coming along okay. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying these type of videos for this channel. I've gotten a good responses from these type of videos, specifically the wearable art ones, upcycled, recycled wearable art, because there's so much that we can recycle. There's so much that we can reuse, and we don't have to keep buying new shit all the time if we don't want to. I do want to get, well, I know eventually it'll happen that I'll get even better at sewing as more time goes on, to the point where I'll be wanting to make almost all of my clothes. I do want to get to that point in my life where I do that. So we'll see. I have worn some of the things that I've created on some of my shows recently. Someone actually commented on that, so that was nice. Not because I like to get accolades and compliments all the time. It's just nice to know that people notice when someone is wearing something that isn't like a name brand clothing design, you know, like whatever name brands people are wearing these days, because I'm not connected with any of that these days. When I was younger, I was obsessed with that, with clothing names and designs when I went to regular public school, because everybody else was into it, and if you were cool, that's what you did, you know. You made sure you had the right type of clothing, like Guess jeans and, you know, parachute pants or whatever. Yeah, you know, when I was going to school, huh? By the wardrobe I'm describing. So we go. It's kind of seeming like the eyes are going to be slanty. So that's okay. That's the thing with creating this type of art. You never know how things are going to turn out unless you decide to draw out a design, which you can do if you want to be really more organized by it. I'm being very organic about it, and I don't have like a set finishing date for it. It's not like it's a commission piece, so I can work on it as often or as little as I want. But I do plan on selling it when I'm done with it. It'll be on my Etsy shop actually when I do sell it. There's a lot of detail involved in this, definitely. But I do want to make up a whole bunch of beads like this, you know. Maybe not just to put on the back of the dress on the bottom, but in other places of the dress. There was one dream I had a long time ago. Well, not a very long time ago, but where I had hand beaded. Oh, was it paper beads? I think it was paper beads. It was either paper beads or fabric beads that I covered this old couch we used to have with. It looked really cool, but could you imagine covering a whole couch with beads? It would probably be best to do fabric beads and not paper beads. If you do paper beads, then it'd have to be in a museum or something. Yeah, so this is coming along. I'll show you after I finish this one eye, so it's not just me talking and sewing. I can show you what I'm actually doing. So let's see. I just want to say thank you to all the people that have subscribed to this channel recently, and the people that are continuing to watch this channel because they have subscribed. I appreciate that. Just always want to show that I do appreciate you guys coming by and watching these videos, because this channel isn't nothing without you, you know. I could just make these videos and then nobody's watching. What's the point, you know? The whole point is interaction, and the whole point is to start up a dialogue in the comment section that's kind, and you know, share whatever projects that you guys are working on. Be curious to know. So let's see. I'll show you what it looks like so far. I can't decide which. Well, okay, now this side. I just decided on which direction to. So that's what it looks like. I know it's not a really good capture of it. What I'll probably do is bring it up to where there's some light and you can see it better. I'm kind of thinking I might just want to make a mouth and no nose, because it's so small. When you're dealing with smaller projects, especially like small beads with faces on them. You want to make them simplistic as possible, because the more detail you add on it, the more they get, like I've said before on this channel, the more detail you do on really small pieces of artwork, the more likely it's going to get lost in the details. So it's good to keep it simple as much as you can when you're making smaller things, like smaller beads with faces on them. So there's a temptation for me to want to do more than I really need to on the smaller works of artwork, but I suppress my urge to want to do that, so that so that it won't turn out too wonky looking or whatever, or like I said, getting lost in the details. So yeah, let's see. And the thing is, with making these beads, no bead's gonna look the same. Definitely, you can try all you want. If you're not a machine, so each bead is not gonna look exactly the same. So don't get defeated if that's what you're expecting. The only way that each bead looks the same is if you're a machine. And are you a machine? I hope not. I'm not a machine, so yeah, here we go. I may not do a whole bunch, because like I said, look, it's already past 20 minutes, and I'm only working on one bead, and that's how long it takes to make things like that for this dress. So I'm not gonna make this into an hour-long thing, because it's starting to get into the evening time, and probably want to think about what I'm gonna make for dinner and stuff. So, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna come up into the light, and then I can show you better in just a bit, so of what I'm talking about. And this is just a rough of it. I might like clean it up a little bit more outside of this show today, but I'll show you what it looks like. I'm gonna stand up so you can see it, because it's dark where I'm sitting down at. So, you know, and these little beads, little fabric beads I'm making too, you don't have to use them to adorn clothing. You could also use it for jewelry. You can use it for other projects like handbags and stuff like that. So let me see if you can see it. Can you see the face on it? I don't know if you can see the face really well, but this is just a rough sketch of it. You can see more of a good clue of what it looks like when you look at this. Let me show you. Sorry, it's so hot. My phone's probably on fire, but so check out this, see what I'm talking about. This is where I'm going for those kind of beads. So that's what I'm doing. Some of these are fully hand embroidered, like that lavender colored one. Some of them are not, like this brown one, and with the pink eyes and nose and mouth. So it varies. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing, is making more of those kind of beads to put on the back. To put on the back of this dress, towards the bottom. So just fill it up with beads. That's what I want to do with it. So yeah, there it is. This is the dress that I've been working on, and that's what I'm doing, is going to be making beads for it. And I'm going to try to work on it more than just once a week now, because I've been really more interested in it lately, because the colors are really attracting me, and it's probably because it's the summertime, and those vibrant colors like the orange and the yellow and just colors of the sun, and then mixing in some lavender and all kinds of stuff in there. But mainly the main colors are orange and pink. As you can see, orange, pink, gold, those kind of colors. And those are the kind of colors I used to work with when I first started using color in my artwork. I would use those bright, vibrant colors. And maybe because it was very color therapeutic for me to use those colors. And if you want to learn more about that, you can check out my channel called Healing with Color. So, yeah. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. It kind of was a tutorial, but just showing you how I make these little fabric beads to put on to this dress. You can make these fabric beads out of any fabric, out of any pattern. Let me put you down here for a second, and I'll see if I can find some. See if I can find some fabric beads to show you offhand. See if there's anything in here. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Are you kidding me? So like I did this fabric bead. It's completely gold. Completely golden fabric bead. Right here. See that? It's just made out of golden silk embroidery thread. So yeah. Yeah, and it takes time to do. It's a simple type of task, but it's a task that takes patience, because if you're one of those people that want to see something done within minutes, this is not it. This is the type of exercise, exercise. This is the type of art that is done, taking your time. Here's another fabric bead I made. Let me see if I can come up to the light. Fabric bead I made. Not done with it yet, but you get the point. This can be sewn onto fabric as well. Fabric onto fabric. And let's see what else I got in here. Some of the things are just not completed. And a lot of times we'll make like blanks of beads so that I can sew a design on them. Here's some in here. Let's see what we got here. This one had a really cool cartoon design on it, so I made it into a fabric bead. It's kind of like a comic book design on it. So, and then this one is just a fabric bead that I hand embroidered, a circular shaped one with metallic embroidery thread. Let's see if I can come up closer and do like that. There you can see it better. So yeah, excuse my nails. I've been doing a lot of dirty artwork. Well, not dirty, but messy artwork. They're kind of raggedy a little bit. Not dirty, but raggedy. So yeah, stuff like that. And what else do I got in here? And I've got a little person here. Can you see that that's a little person? Get my face out of the way and just see it. And then on the back it's the hat. I was doing red, gold, black, and green on it, so it was going to be a miniature Rasta. So, Rasta woman. So yeah, that's how intricate things can get with this. And these can be added, those little beads can be added on to your projects, your sewing projects. Ooh, it is hot in here. So yeah, so thanks for joining me today for today's show. Hope you had fun watching me create what I create. I hope this inspires you. This isn't exactly wearable art, but is upcycled and recycled art. And I have made purses that are like this, like monster purses. Some people call them monster purses. Some people call them like tribal purses, which I prefer better to monster purses. But let me show you that too, because I'm thinking about putting that one purse back on my Etsy. Speaking of monster purses. I'll be right back. So this is what I am referring to. This right here. So I feel like it's more of a tribal purse, but somebody call it a monster. But this right here, it's an actual purse it's a face. This is a cyclops. This side is a cyclops. The other side is a triclops. Triclops because it has 3 eyes. 1, 2, 3. And then cyclops for the 1 eye. And the cyclops eye, there's a hoop for the, it's like that, so you can open it up and put whatever you want to put in there. It is a purse, so it's not going to hold a lot of stuff in it. It'll probably hold your keys, your cell phone, and maybe, I don't know, lipstick, lip balm, or whatever you put in there. But yeah, that's basically what this is, and it's made from recycled fabrics. So yeah, see? Ah! So yeah, that's that. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think I might put that back on my shop again. But I used all recycled fabrics on that too as well, so yeah. Ooh, it's hot in here. So yeah, thanks for joining me today for today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for the likes and shares, and thank you for your kind comments. Like I said, again, leave your comments and tell me what it is that you're working on that's in the realm of upcycled and recycled wearable art. And feel free to check out my tutorial on Patreon on how I show you how to make that that tribal doll head. I especially did that tutorial too because a woman on Instagram asked me how do I make these cloth dolls without using fiber fill or anything to fill it with. So if you're curious about that, you can check out that tutorial on my Patreon. And other than that, you can also donate to my PayPal at kdaddytmama@comcast.net, $1 or more, and I can answer a question for you on an upcoming show. And yeah, all that money, the money that goes, like I'm getting a ton of money, but the money that you donate goes towards saving for a new camera, and also it goes towards being able to purchase my own land, and also to be able to build natural homes on that land, for instance, a tree house or two. So that's what it goes towards, and being able to be more sustainable and not to rely on grocery stores and everything for all of my food. So yeah, well, I mean, we're doing pretty good in the garden. We've got a lot of cucumbers and tomatoes, which I can do an update on soon. Oh, my arm is getting tired. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. Please do stay creative, and please try to upcycle and recycle whenever you can. Let's get a final look at this dress. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. And here's the back of the dress. Put it in front of me, maybe. It's hard to show you. I might want to hang it up on the door so you can get one last look at it before my phone says it's done. So here we go, it's going over here. I'll hang it up on my painting, and then I'll just turn the camera that way so you can see it. Hopefully you'll be able to see it just fine. Okay, turn it that way. So I don't know how well you can see it. Please tell me how well you can see it in the comment section below. So that's what I was talking about. Towards this area, I wanted to add those beads towards that area. This is how it look. You can see it a lot better now, and I'll put up more photos of it too online as I do more to it. Here's the other side of it. See if I can finish. I dropped it, of course. Let me see if I can figure out a way to hang it up so you can see the other side better. Yeah, so I like how it's turning out so far. So far, so good. And now you can look and see what I'm talking about with these tribal faces on here. See what I'm saying? It's nothing fancy. Well, actually, this is trying to look a little fancy. I don't think you'd want to wear this camping or something like that, but yeah, it's turning out really cool. I'm really enjoying it. And I hope this does inspire you guys to continue to create more things with recycled and upcycled, upcycled and recycled materials. It's really important to recycle. So, alrighty, guys, thanks for joining me. Brightest blessings to all of you, and stay creative. And I'll see you soon. I'm gonna leave you with the details of this dress that I'm working on. I'm just really proud of the back too, where I let's try to readjust it on this mermaid painting. But I'm really proud of the embroidery work that I've done on it. I'm really proud of that, especially the centerpiece with the goddess connected to these 4 flowers, being connected to nature. So, and I really just want to deck it out and make it look really good. But I don't want to go too far with it or not go far enough. So yeah, thanks for joining me, guys, and I will see you soon.